Hi guys, you're here with me, Jen, the Taxidermy Witch. There's my seat. And we are doing our first episode of Egyptology Sunday. Now, I want to note that I'm still learning. There's so much to be learned in the books, even these 4 little books that I have. None of which cover my goddess Bastet, except for a little bit in each, just a smidge. So, I've taken what I could from these books. I've found a lot of information online and some on YouTube. But there's not a lot out there on YouTube, and for those of you who put out videos on Bastet, you will find snippets of what you've put out there in mine, because that was all new information to me. So I've collaborated from a lot of places and put together as much information on Bastet for you as I could. Now, a lot of people have big statues of their gods and goddesses, and I wanted to do that. And when I was saving up money for it, in a meditation, I was trying to speak to Bastet, which is pretty easy to do. You're just using your intuition and you're channeling. Maybe I'm not directly talking with the goddess, but I believe that I am. And she told me not to spend the $300 on the statue that I wanted, but to stock up on herbs and such instead. Which made a lot of sense at the time, because after that I lost my job. You don't need a statue to worship your god or goddess. You do need offerings. And so it was so good that I bought all those herbs like she told me to do, because otherwise I would have been out for months and I wouldn't have been able to do my practice like I would want to. So there's a lot to say. I'm going to try and keep this in a video that's short, or short enough to be in one video. So we shall get started. Bast, otherwise known as Bastet. Her name means in female devour. Okay? She is the goddess of sun, cats, women, fertility, childbirth, secrets, joy, music, dancing, health, and healing. She is the protector of households, just like cats in Egypt, and a lot of cultures are the protector of the household. She guards against contagious disease and evil spirits. She is depicted as a slender cat woman. The head is a cat, and then the torso is a woman's breasts and chest, and then her feet come out as paws. So she's a real combination throughout. It's not just cat head and woman body. And sometimes you'll see her in other depictions as well. But generally that she's depicted as like a slender cat head woman torso. She's connected to Hathor, Sekhmet, and many others. She is originally viewed as protector and goddess of Lower Egypt. Those who were in her favor would get great blessings. If you were not in her favor, her wrath was legendary. As a protector, she's seen as protector of the pharaoh. She's probably most famous Egyptian goddess after Isis. Bast was said to be the daughter of Ra. Gifts. The refusal to be at one's beck and call. She refuses to be at one's beck and call and insists on freedom of expression. She teaches us to relax and never waste energy. I really connect with that. She reminds us to luxuriate in beauty, perfume, and to stay graceful in every movement. Bast refuses to take anything seriously. That's really me, you guys. Importantly, she leads us to accept the true nature of things. from inside ourselves as well as outside ourselves. She helps us to remain unswayed by the opinion of others. And that's something that she's taught me a lot about too in the last 2 years. And that's why I finally made my YouTube channel, was because I wanted to for so long, but I was self-conscious, and I thought, I want to do this to make friends, but instead I feared people saying bad things about me. I didn't know enough. My voice was weird. My dreads were bad. My teeth are bad. I mean, who knows what people would say, but I feared all those things. And she taught me to remain unswayed by the opinion of others. And the good news is that I have not had one single mean comment on this whole channel. But I prepared myself for that. And I just dove in head first and said, you know what, Jen, you've always wanted to do this. Do it. Thank you, Bastet, for all that you've taught me. Offerings to be made to Bast. I've talked a lot about that in my offering videos to Bast, but we'll just say what I've found. Sculptures of cats, which I think we should do in a different video. Sweet liquids, sweet foods, raw meat. That is her favorite. And for vegans, it's going to be hard. But her absolute favorite is raw meat. In my house, in my practice with her. Oils and ointments. That's why I have her blessing my passion oil down here. Her offering space is right here. Mint, catnip, honey, but it has to be quality honey. If you give her honey out of a honeybee, she's not going to be happy about that. Get some nice raw manuka honey. Ooh, she loves that. And perfumes. And music and dancing. So, to honor her, do all the things she loves. Relax. Energize yourself. Rest. Lay in bed. Call in sick to work if you want. Literally. She likes all these things. But you need to do what's right here for you here on this plane as well. So don't call in sick to work on my opinion. I'm just saying that she wants you to enjoy life to the fullest. And if you don't want to go to work and you have this epic moment that you'll never ever get to replicate, at that point I am telling you to call in sick to work if it won't let you lose your job. Because once, at this job I'm currently at, they told me I had to work and I missed the birth of my niece, and she was born at home and the whole family was there, and I'll never ever stop regretting that, unfortunately. I forgive myself for it, but I'll never stop regretting it. So don't miss out on things just because of work. Bastet tells you you need to live life first and figure out the rest second, okay? Or that's what she tells me. Depiction changes, what did I say? A daughter of Ra, believed to be associated with the sun. Then her appearance changed. She became goddess of protection of the home, fertility, childbirth, cats. What are these, my notes? I'm really sorry, you guys. In Egypt and in mythology, cats are and always have been in many traditions protectors of the home. Images of Bastet could be seen all through the house, believed to ward away evil spirits and dis-ease, particularly those that would affect women and children. She is mother to Nephirium, who is the goddess of perfume. That's probably why she's so close to scent. She's kind and playful underneath, with a fierce predator's persona. She holds an ankh to represent new life, and a papyrus wand that represents Egypt. The scepter was thought to signify strength. As Bastet, it would be common to see her accompanied with a litter of kittens at her heels. If harm was ever to come to a cat, it was considered a crime against Bastet, and those responsible would face an undesirable fate. If you have cats and you're cruel to them, pass them on to someone else. Cats are some of the most precious creatures in the world. They are your protector. In my opinion, they're much more loyal than a dog because they're smarter. They're not loyal because they need something. They're loyal because they've seen it from you. Dogs, I feel, just aren't at the same level as cats. They are amazing pets. They are amazing hunters. They are amazing in general. But I'm just saying that on a spiritual plane, I think cats are beyond humans, you know. Cats, humans, dogs is how the three would go, in my opinion. On smartness, wiseness, and being in touch with other things. Now remember, cats, and I don't know about dogs, cats can see things in the room that you can't. And they get very upset and protective over you, over those things. I believe that those are spirits or energies or some kind of negative force in the room with you, and they're giving you a warning. Probably because they know they need to be protected. They're selfish. Cats are definitely selfish. That's why I'm so close with them. I'm selfish because of these things. Like, I want rest. I want treats. I want music. I want to dance. And I want to do those things first. That's why if I ever call myself selfish, that's what I'm talking about. But I'm also selfless. Because if someone needs something, I give everything I have to them. And I would. I'd say, I could get these books later, you take them. You know? So in some ways I'm selfish, and in some ways I'm selfless. And I'm sure that we can all relate to that on some kind of level. But that is my truth. But if you have a cat, don't ever treat it bad. It's also said that if you look into the eyes of a cat and they look at you back, they make eye contact, you are looking into Bastet's eyes, the soul of Bastet. Now, this isn't an easy thing to do, because cats don't want to look you right in the eye right away. Don't hurt a cat, you guys. And if you find cat whiskers, they are so lucky, especially if Bastet is your goddess. Statues are seen of the goddess herself. If you look into real cat's eyes, I said that. Statues could also protect the crops of farmers of disease by killing vermin. Cats kill vermin, right? But in here they're just saying statues were even around for farmers. My husband is a farmer. He's a gardener. So that's a double great thing for them to be protecting us in the home, protecting fertility, protecting from disease, and protecting the garden. She and Sekhmet were both considered to be the wife of Ptah, spelled Ptah, and mother to Nephitim. So I don't know what that means, because she and Sekhmet, a male, were considered to be the wife of Ptah and mother to Nephitim. Okay, we're moving on. Sekhmet took care of Upper Egypt, represented the upper portion of Egypt, and Bastet, or Bast, the lower portion of Egypt. If you're wondering why Bast is a cat, Ra took form of a cat when defecting the serpent god Opthanus. Her transformation may have also been influenced by the ancient Greeks, where house cats were considered skilled hunters. The Greeks saw Bastet very similar to their goddess of the hunt, Artemis. So I think that is all that we have to say about Bast, is it? Oh, I'm supposed to tell... Oh, how you can honor Bast, we already said that. It also says by dressing up. So she loves it when you dress up, you put on jewelry. Here I have a piece of jewelry from Egypt that I found on eBay. And it has a piece of black onyx, I believe it is. And then a little redstone up here, maybe coral? I don't know. So, and then this is on copper. It's really pretty. And this is a really nice chain. It doesn't pull on any of the parts of your neck. So I wear this to honor her, and when I do my offerings, I try and put it on every time I do a meditation if I want to talk to her directly, or if I'm sitting down just for a meditation just to talk with her. Ooh, I didn't say this. Her attributes: cats, moon, feminine. Crystals that relate to Bastet: tiger's eye or cat's eye. Color: red and gold and black. Which is cool because this necklace is red and gold and black. And so if you guys don't remember my story, basically as a child I always wanted cats, or any pets, but cats in particular. Both of my brothers were deadly allergic. Like, my brother Scott ended up in the hospital a few times with cat encounters, and one of the times his heart stopped in an ambulance on the way to the hospital. So it's not a joke. My mom couldn't let me have them because they would be so sick. So I grew up on a farm, and we had loads of outdoor animals. We had cows, we had chickens, we had pigs, we had sheep, lambs, loads of chickens and loads of cows. That was the majority. And even as a small girl, I have memories from when I was 3 years old. I would hear kittens in the woods. Or cats, but probably kittens because, cats don't just cry in the woods for no reason. So I remember this, and I was 3 or 4. Our property was like 6 or 7 acres, and I heard them at the house. And I remember I had to follow this voice all the way throughout the woods because I wanted to play with a cat. I wanted to play with a kitten. So these teeny tiny, you know those tiny noises that just born kittens make? Well, they were separated from their mom. I don't know if the mom went off to get food and never came back because she was eaten by a bigger animal or what. But there was 4 gray kittens just in this little earth nest crying, and they were skinny. So I slowly, gently picked them up. And I had to crawl through thorns to get to them. So weird. So I picked them up, and I backed out of this teeny tiny, little tiny hole I had made through the thorns. And then I couldn't even turn around. I got the kittens in my shirt, and they weren't even clawing me, you guys. They just knew they were being saved. And I backed out of that hole backwards, and I knew I couldn't bring them inside. So I went out to our woodshed, and I made them a little home out there. And it was a home for 2 days until we needed wood again, and my dad found them. But luckily, Don let me keep them out there. He said, "Don't tell Peggy, she'll never let us keep them." And so me and my dad kept the cats out there for, gosh, I don't know, months. And when Daryl found out about it, he didn't tell Mom. When Scott found out about it, I do believe he told Mom. And then I don't remember what happened, and that's probably because it wasn't good. And because it was scarring to me. And probably because they were taken away from me. But we had them for a few weeks or a couple months. And I don't want to cry. When they got taken away, when they were taken away and I couldn't keep them anymore, that was the first time that I started to become clairaudient. And I would go in the woods and I would hear little kitten cries, and I would follow them, and they weren't even there. And I would keep looking in that little spot for those kittens. But it doesn't matter now, you guys, because I have 5 cats that are indoor, outdoor, and they're like my babies and the love of my life and all of that. Let's see, I have Otis, I have Jack and Chloe, I have Rosebud, and I have Bazinga. So I have loads of cat love in my life now. Thank you, Bastet, for gracing me with those kittens in the beginning and the kittens now. But yes, I started to become clairaudient because I was such a lonely child that I think that I just produced that sound in my head because it was what I needed at the time. So, but now I'm clairaudient with things like mannequins and taxidermy, and not all of them, obviously, you guys. I still haven't had a conversation with Claire, and that may never happen, and that's okay. But I'm not going to tell a story that I can be clairaudient with anything, because that's not true. But the first time I remember it happening was then. And I think that it was just a gift because I was so lonely. And when that gift of the kittens was ripped out of my life, I needed the loneliness to stop. So, I hope you enjoyed episode 1 of Sunday Egyptology. And I guess it was kind of a deep episode for me, talking about cats. But guess what we're going to do now? It's a gorgeous day outside, and we're going to go outside and we're going to do some cloud scrying, because it's been so nice that there have been no clouds. But today on my way home, I was driving, I was like, yay for clouds! So come back and let's scry together. Come back next Sunday for another Egyptology Sunday. What will we be talking about? Probably Isis, the ant of Bastet, the ant. So, guys, thank you for being with me, and have a beautiful, lovely day. I will see you soon.